So it's just annoying that people are blowing off our show for the dumbest reasons.
Yeah, I
mean, we have a real problem with the booking of this radio show, but you know, I'll try not to bitch, but we have serious issues as far as this radio show goes. Not with us in studio here. You know, I mean, the bookings suck for this radio show. Suck. We got George Wendt coming in today, and I'm not trashing George Wendt, but what year is this? What is he coming in to promote? And I'm sure he's nice enough guy. I've talked to him a few times over the years, but it's like, where's the people from this century? When are they going to start doing our show?
Well, he's promoting a book. It's supposed to be very good. So if they ask Anthony and I, we're like, yeah, we'll talk to George Wendt.
I don't mind that we're talking to George Wendt. I'm actually excited. But what are we going to ask him about Cheers?
Was he on Cheers?
George?
Yeah.
What, he's not?
I think he was. I never watched Cheers.
You never watched Cheers either?
I've seen moments of it, but no, I didn't.
Of course George Wendt was on Cheers.
Teasing. That's just my good acting. I know who he was. Fucking Mars is mumbling Norm in the back. I know, Mars. I'm kidding.
I got to be honest. I wasn't sure myself.
Yeah, no, I was joking.
Okay, that was some good acting.
Yeah, you know how it is.
So we're going to talk to Norm. What are we going to do when he walks in and go, Norm?
Hey. He'll probably sit down and go, well, you know, it was a great experience. But,
Drinking with George, the name of his book.
It's, I know what you're saying is that
I'm not trashing George Wendt.
It would be nice to have them as well. I know what you're saying.
Well, yeah, it would be a nice combo. I mean, he's got STP has a new album out. All right, so that's kind of a newer guest that's still doing it. And George Wendt has nothing else going on, so he's writing a book.
Tomorrow,
so, you know, let's go to Tony in Brooklyn. Tony!
Hey, Opie, I had a kid 10 months ago, and that was the best week of my life, the week between, after he was born. So congratulations, buddy.
Hey, man, thank you. It's a life changer.
It's unbelievable.
I like it, though.
Yeah, it's nothing like it. Hey, I think everybody's got a story, and I would be more interested in George Wendt than I would be in douchebags from STP, because you know what? You're only really interested in the train wreck, and it's always the same story. So, hey, maybe George has got something interesting to talk about other than just his Norm days. So, who knows?
Yeah, we'll try to get into it with George today.
The thing that's
Mr. Wendt, but George Wendt is coming in.
Watch him be the fucking. I don't know much about the guy. I'm just saying it would be ironic. We think he's probably gonna be like a really nice guy. Mm-hmm. Watch him just be a complete twat who's trashing everybody.
That would be good.
It would be great.
That would be wonderful. Why don't we take a break and continue? Very excited. George Wendt coming by today.
He is, and he's promoting. I'll tell you what he's promoting. He's promoting the Borgata July 2nd and 3rd, and Caroline's in June.
Is Steve bummed that I just did that? Why?
No, not at all.
Because we're going to get more fucking 1980s sitcom stars.
And then the next time we go to book George Wendt, there'll be like a whole rant about how he's a dick and he doesn't come in.
Yeah.
But it's George Wendt.
I'm sure he'll be good.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers ended 20 years ago.
It's a pretty big show, though.
I bet you if you walk down the street, he's not getting a lot of norms these days.
Maybe not. Huh? But it's not his fault that STP are cunts.
I think I am taking.
We don't want to.
Yeah, but it's not.
I think I am taking it out.
He's a guy. Look, you know what?
Because of this STP situation,
he's in one of the biggest shows ever. And again, if he's,
I like George Wendt. I'm sure the book's going to be terrific, and I'm sure we're going to have a good time with George Wendt. So I think Jimmy's right. I'm taking it out on him because of the STP situation.
We don't want to blow the Cliff Clavin booking.
What is he up to? What do you think he's up to?
Pixar movies.
Oh, yeah. He does, like, voiceover.
Yeah. He does, like, every Pixar movie that comes out. He's in at least one voice.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. He's got a great career in Hollywood.
It's cool.
And I'm trying to figure out who I'm doing the radio show with today. You're right.
So he does Pixar voices.
George Wendt coming in today. And who knows? Maybe other people stopping by. See, if I say that, then maybe the people will stay tuned.
Oh. We know who isn't stopping by, though.
Who?
Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh, well. Good for them. Good news. We just got the George Wendt one sheet. It's called the one sheet in the biz. He's coming in to promote Drinking with George by George Wendt. Drinking with George, Jim Norton, is George Wendt's book about his love affair with beer. He chronicles... Who did the one sheet?
I did.
Huh?
I did.
It's cool. You spelled Chronicles wrong.
Yeah, that's a weird spelling of
Chronicles.
Chronicles.
C-R-O-N.
He Chronicles.
It's the European spelling.
That's a European spelling?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yep.
Oh, okay. He chronicles everything he loves about it and all the ways beer has affected his life. The book is half autobiography and half a book about everything having to do with beer.
Yeah.
He said he can't pick a favorite beer. He started drinking it as a kid when he would get his grandpa beers and get a sip for going to get them. He not only tells personally stories.
It's a typo. It's a typo.
He not only tells personally stories, but also gets into bar etiquette and theory, as well as ways to drink
With George.
beer.
We just got the book. When did we get these?
He says that a fire extinguisher can be used to get a six-pack cold. You all right? I'm reading the one sheet, Jimmy. You okay?
When did we get these books in?
I was handed one for the one sheet yesterday morning when I got in.
So maybe they just arrived.
No, they can't. When would they come, Iraq?
I think like Friday afternoon or something like
And
that.
why
Why
is
would
it-
nobody tell us that we have the books of the author that we're supposed to interview?
Steve just handed them to me to bring into
Well,
the
can
studio.
Steve come here, please? Can somebody ask why we have an interview? I don't want to bitch. We have an interview to do. How about the fucking book of the guy we're interviewing? Holy shit!
Wow. And why is it a soft...
That might just be the way he released it. Probably
is-
smarter to do.
No, this is the paperback.
Is the hardcover already out?
I believe.
Okay, maybe.
This is paperback launch.
We're interviewing him on the paperback version
When did
of
these-
fucking Drinking with George?
That's correct.
Holy
I got him yesterday morning, Jim.
shit.
Okay. How come you didn't tell
When
us?
was
book
the
here?
actual book released?
I think I watched a Today Show interview with him pitching it from like a little less than a year ago, June 2009.
We actually had him booked when the book initially was released, and then we didn't do a show. And
So it's probably last summer.
yeah,
So how come we didn't get these yesterday?
I handed one to Sam to do the one sheet, and then I held the other two to give you guys today because I thought you would. In the past, I'm not sure if you guys ever read these things.
Books?
No, not books in general. Do you usually read the books when I hand these things to you,
Steve,
Jim?
where have you been?
I'm serious.
It doesn't
Please.
matter.
But that's not-
It's very obvious that
I know
Jimmy
Jimmy's look, I
brings
know-
the books home and peruses them, which is a fine word when you're talking about books.
Even if I
He
don't,
peruses them.
even if I don't read the book, the fact that I
he'll
would
go-
have it and want to go through it.
Yeah, he'll go through it.
Sometimes
bit.
I don't, but there are times I absolutely do.
Okay, then I will make sure that you get. As soon as I get a copy of the book, you'll get it. I was under the impression that you didn't want these things because you weren't looking at them.
We have to interview him.
I know you have to look at them. I know you have to interview them. That's why you got a one sheet.
Beer 101, beer styles. When I was a kid, it seemed like there was only two kinds of beers in America, domestics and imports. The domestics were the yellow beers like Budweiser, Pabst Blue Ribbon, and
I'm not going to
Miller High
I'm not
Life.
going to. It's not his fault. We should have had these books in advance.
imports were exotic beers from foreign countries like Heineken, the Moosehead. Real men drank domestics. Beer snobs drank imports. What was that?
I don't know,
think
but the
Steve made it
bottom line is,
That was the bear growling.
if we got a fucking author to interview, George Wendt, I should have at least had the books so we could look through them. There's nothing worse. I'm interviewed by a lot of different people on the road. There's nothing worse than when you walk into a room to do an interview and they give you some shitty Wikipedia fucking question.
100 ways to say that you're drunk.
Hey, look, he's getting praise from fucking
What?
Stephen Colbert and
I'm
some other
laughing.
people. I'm not going to shit on his book.
Annihilated, bashed, befuddled, bent, bibulous, blasted, blithering, blitzed, blotto, bullocks, bombed, boozed up, butt wasted, buzzed, and that's only the B's. Zozzled. It ends with zozzled. Reeling, ripped, rocked, ruined, on a bender, on fire, stewed, stinko, stoned, stupid, tanked, intoxicated, jacked, juiced, lit, loaded, looped. George Wendt coming in today in about an hour. Half hour? He's here? What? He's coming through the door?
Scheduled for a half hour.
Huh? Jimmy, what's wrong?
Just irritated.
Yeah, man, but we got guys running the channel. We're in good shape. They know what's going on.
But it ain't George Wendt's fault. I mean, it's like this.
I'm not blaming
this whole
George
thing
Wendt.
is not his fault. He's the guy who wrote a book. The
I'm
fact
not
that
blaming
Stone Temple
George
Pilots
Wendt.
is not here is because the band are cunts.
Yeah.
And the fact that we don't have fucking research done properly is because things are not being done behind the fucking scenes.
Mm-hmm. Did we lose you, Jimmy?
I'm just irritated. Fucking look, I don't love or hate George Wendt. It's not the point.
No,
But the guy contributed. He did he's one of the biggest shows ever done. At least he did something.
We're just doing comedy. I have nothing against George Wendt.
I don't either.
And I'm sure the book did well. I'm just having fun with the whole situation.
I honestly don't love George Wendt.
I hope he
either.
realizes that I'm not, personally trashing him. I'm just having a little fun and making some radio today. That's all. Or at least trying.
I don't love George Wendt. It's not like I'm a huge fan. Like I respect the guy, whatever. The stuff that's happening is way beyond him coming in. It's just
but we got guys running the channel. They're on top of everything. Don't worry about it.
But I mean,
they're going to take care of everything. Or so they said a year and a half ago. George Wendt making his way into the studio. It's Opie and Jim Norton today. You doing good, Jimmy?
No, I'm extraordinarily cranky today.
You're cranky?
I'm very tired. Yeah, I didn't sleep well.
You're cranky. I'm not sleeping yet. Having an 8-day-old in the old house. We got other things going on today as well.
Mike Baker's coming in as well. He's spent 17 years in the CIA. Very smart guy. I've done Red Eye with him many times.
Yeah, with that Times Square incident, we had him on the phone.
Yeah,
he did a great job.
He's a bright dude.
And he's got a book or something he's promoting, right?
I don't know if he's just that or just promoting his security company. I mean...
okay, but he's in town, so he's coming by to say hi. Yeah, he was great on the phone, so...
And we got Nestor Carbonell calling in at 10. We only have him for 10 minutes. He's Richard Alpert on Lost, because it's Lost is tonight, and I think the season finale is Sunday. And he's been... I've loved him this year.
Kind of a drop-off with this whole Lost thing, huh?
Tremendous, dude. I mean, really bad. But him is one guy I don't have a problem. I think he's great.
I mean, I still haven't seen one episode of Lost, but...
You know who he is? He's in The Dark Knight. He played the mayor.
Oh!
Okay, that's
yeah,
him.
right
that's
on. Okay.
Nestor. He's been... You know him as soon as you see him.
Yeah, sure. But we're not going to see him because he's going to be on the phone.
Right.
Sam? Oh, you're just coming into film?
Yep.
Oh, Steve's walking him down from the... Okay, we never know when to bring a guest in. Do we bring them in as, because Steve always wants to walk them in, look, I know they're not scheduled for 45 minutes, but they're here if you want me to... Which sometimes makes sense, but I'm getting a text from Steve.
Are you?
Oh, okay.
What?
He said, Wendt is in bathroom. Be right there.
Taking a beer shit.
Yeah, George Wendt's taking a good hangover dump.
Enough about the beer. George Wendt. Wow, man, it's a weird day.
It is.
Like the timing's off on everything, and then it's like, all right, well, let's do our George Wendt interview, and no, he's too busy taking a beer shit, so now we got to wait.
No, just talk.
Penny is working on his next segment.
Is he? All right, that's great, because the first one was just amazing, so can't wait for the second one.
I don't know if it's great or not.
We got a salute to former intern Sean we could play right now for everybody. Is Sean coming in, though, so we could get his side of the story?
Yep.
As far as Troy Kwan going out with his girlfriend? Troy told that whole story yesterday?
Yeah, he'll come in.
He'll come in, what,
Maybe
Friday?
later this week?
Yeah.
On Friday, Thursday?
Yeah, let's do that. Here's George Wendt. Oh, my God. George.
How are you?
Good.
Sit.
How are you, George? Welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show. Fresh as a daisy?
Yeah.
How did the bathroom go? You all right?
Yeah. You have cameras?
We have cameras in there, yeah. Did you take a good one?
It left my scent.
Huh?
I left my scent.
Oh, you had to drop a deuce before you came in?
Yeah, nice.
All right, here's the thing.
But I want to talk about what he dropped.
Oh, yeah.
Was it solid, or was it, was it messy?
It's solid.
Solid? Okay, that's good. That's healthy.
I love the fact that you actually answered that question.
Why not? What are we going to do? Talk about Cheers? He doesn't want to hear about Cheers. Let's talk about our dumps for a while.
Are you tired of hearing about Cheers?
Whatever.
You don't care?
I don't have an agenda.
All right. So what?
Other than I need coffee.
We could get you coffee.
No, it's actually
the
press rep is on her way.
What?
The press rep is on her way.
Okay. She bringing you coffee? So you tired? You and who played Cliff? I don't know his name.
John Ratzenberger.
John Ratzenberger is sued because they were using your likenesses in these Cheers-like bars. What was it, in airports?
Yeah.
Were they mannequins? Were they dummies or just voices?
They were
like
audio animatronic, like robots.
Yeah.
Do you get tired of being, as a guy who was, like it became a very iconic character, do you get tired of being associated with that, like as an actor?
Well, I don't spend much energy like worrying about it, so it doesn't make me tired or anything. But it's it's not really anything I can control.
But have you gone out for things, or they said we want you for something, but they're like, no, we associate you too much with that?
Oh, yeah, I should think, yeah. Actually, they probably don't even see me, based on that, if that's what they're thinking.
Do you like television now?
Are we on radio now, by the way?
Yes, we are.
I just wondered. I thought we were shooting the shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's actually a compliment.
That's a compliment. That's how we do our radio
good.
show. We don't need it all polished and nice, George. We like to talk about your dump, a little Cheers action, and we'll get you out of here so you go back to bed.
George didn't know if he was actually on there. Yeah, we are on there.
Yeah,
this is where we kind of talk.
You're not a morning person, are you?
No.
Well, if you drink beer, it's tough to be a morning person.
I was actually, out with friends last night, and this really does not fit into my schedule.
What time did you go home?
Not too bad. I was 12:30 or so. But I left to my own devices. It would have been worse.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm a professional.
So you went to bed. You had a few?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So you were.
How many is a few?
I don't know.
You don't really keep. You don't keep track,
I don't
right?
keep track.
More than 6?
Probably about 6.
About 6?
Maybe it would have been more if I had didn't have a 7 o'clock wake up.
Sure.
So you have to get up and do radio this morning and just promote the paperback. That kind of sucks when you're out and you want to have a few more drinks and you got to.
Yeah. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, the book's about beer.
The book's about beer, yeah. So I was doing my resurch. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Exhaustive research.
You should come in here really hungover. It would help sell the book, I'm thinking.
So you like I'm sorry.
Go. No, go.
Are you a hard drinker? I mean, I was at one point, too.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it that hard, but, I drink pretty much every night.
Every night?
Unless I have some reason not to.
Yeah, that would be a hard drinker. I mean,
you think so?
Yeah, man. I mean, okay. Sure.
Good. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Then
it's cool to not have to get up though. Like as a guy, like, you're an actor. You're obviously set because you Cheers an 11-year run you were on.
Yeah,
no?
I wouldn't call myself set.
Yeah.
But,
no. Look at
I have 5 kids.
The look he gave you.
Crazy.
Well, you have 5 kids?
Yeah, so
So you don't get the residual checks?
I get the residual
you get them,
checks.
but I mean they're not big checks, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're okay. I need to keep working and all that.
So you get this impression that a guy does a show
like Cheers, you're set for life.
One of the biggest of all time.
Yeah.
Well, I could be set for life if I had like no kids and lived in a, double wide in Idaho or something. Right. I'd be set for life.
Mm-hmm. Do you are you a guy who's really responsible and smart with money? Like I got to sock it away. Or are you one of those guys who's just like,
nah,
enjoy it while it's here?
I just enjoyed it, and I did sock a good bit away, but just enough for the kids' college and stuff. So I thought, but no, not even close.
Really? So as time has gone on, the college has got more expensive.
Yeah,
cost of living goes up.
Yeah, and
now you're at a point where you're like, shit.
Yeah. I better write a book or something.
Is that really? That's a very. Are you scared?
Of
meaning, like, are you
broke?
at a point where you're like, I'm a little worried here about the money?
Yeah. Well, who isn't in this economy?
Mm-hmm. Ted Danson, probably.
Well, no, you'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah. He's always complaining. I'm like, well,
he's complaining about money.
Well, he has in the past, yeah.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, I know, shocking.
You should have. Has Ted invited you to do his new show?
You bored to death?
Yeah.
No, but it's not his show, really. Thanks.
Well, he's the star of the show, though, right?
Yeah, Ted is.
Well, I guess he's the biggest name, but
biggest name on the show,
the lead guy or anything.
Yeah.
No, he's the second lead to Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah, Jimmy did his show.
I did one episode. Yeah.
So you have something in common. You both did did work with Ted Danson. That's kind of cool, Jimmy.
He's actually very like a nice guy. It's kind of
you've done
intimidating.
lines with Ted Danson.
Yes, but
that's right.
I had one liner.
As George doesn't get the phone call at home, you're hanging out with Ted Danson. That's got to be comfortable for everybody in the room.
But you know what it is? It's probably that it's awkward to use people from the same show in different projects because then all of a sudden it associates everybody with the own show. But I'm interested in the fact that you leave Cheers or Cheers is done and you think, all right, for the rest of my life, I can just kind of cruise, do some plays, whatever, right? Just do what I want to do. And when does the realization hit that, like, shit, the money, there is a cap on it?
It was a couple years ago.
A couple years ago?
Yeah. My youngest is 20 now, so.
You're getting there.
Yeah.
You're getting there.
Yeah. I'm almost off the hook. Almost.
So what happened? He was going to college and.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, all of them, like.
Are you married?
Yes.
All right. I was wondering if there was a divorce in there because that could hurt.
Nah. Right. Ooh, yeah, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Now that might be why Ted was
bitching.
Oh, is he divorced?
Right.
Oh, is he a divorced guy? All right,
we don't need to get into that.
Have you done another series since then, or have you worked a lot, or no?
Yeah, I've done a couple of short-lived series, and it's tough sledding out there. I don't know how to. If anyone knew how to make something work, they'd do it all the time. So it's kind of an alchemy thing. It's kind of although Ted's gone on 3 things.
So Becker and then this.
4.
Yeah.
Becker, Damages, this other.
Is it depressing at all? When you look at, you were an actor before that, right? You're going out, you're doing auditions, and then you get Cheers, and it goes to what it goes to, and then when it's over, does it become a point where it's like, it's not like the star treatment anymore? Is there a depression that comes with that?
No.
No. How long does it take to kind of hit home? Like, okay, that's done now. I have to move on to something else.
Yeah, that's a bit of an adjustment because, it was rather dizzying heights. There were parades thrown in our honor and stuff. You feel like the Pope,
right.
Thousands of people on the streets in Boston and stuff. And then, so it's a bit of an adjustment, but it was very sort of amorphous and vague, and probably took over the course of 5 years or something.
And then what was it? It must have been something like, was it something you wanted to do that you weren't able to do, like a role you wanted to do, or what was it that hit you that you're like, ugh, now I have to kind of start over a little bit?
Nothing that I can think of right now that was a specific moment, but just in general, you kind of don't get as many meetings or something like that.
Calls don't come back as fast?
Yeah, sure.
Do you watch the show when it's on?
No.
Why would he?
No, I mean, just like if I'm channel surfing and I run across it, I may just sort of stick with it until the next commercial, kind of going, what was that bit? Oh, yeah, that bit. And that's all.
Do you, when you watch it, does it feel good, or is there a kind of a bitterness with it?
No, it's not bitterness at all. It's just kind of, I guess I'm like any other American. It's just part of the landscape.
Sure is.
So the drinking, I want to get back to the drinking. I like the fact that George was honest. He said he drinks every night.
See, Jimmy stopped drinking and doing drugs at 17.
18.
18, I'm sorry, 18 years old.
Quit.
He knew he just couldn't do the drinking thing there, George.
I was not a functional guy when I drank. Are you, as a guy who drinks every night, have you had gigs that kind of got messed up because of it? Like you're supposed to have a call at 6 and you get there at 8? Or
No, I don't. When I say every night, it's not, that's if I'm left to my own devices,
Right.
If I have something, like for example, when my kids were in grade school, like I would only drink on weekends because, I had to like hit the deck at 6:30 or something and, feed them, get them out the door, blah, blah, blah.
Because they don't understand hangovers, right, George?
That too. And then the night before, I was always like, now did you do homework? And, so, I was a lot more responsible. But now I'm just sort of sliding back into my, like, college days.
Where you can kind of do what you want?
Kind of, yeah, unless I have a gig.
Does it feel good, or does it kind of feel like floating somewhere?
It feels fine. I frankly, I wish I was busier, and then maybe I'd, probably, take care of myself a little better if I was busier.
You mean eating better, or do you mean drinking less, or
just drinking less?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I eat well.
Are you
probably why.
Are you a vomiter?
No. You mean vomiter
From
like
drinking?
No.
So you never throw it up?
No. Yeah, I have. Yeah. Actually, I did it when a couple summers ago. My brother poisoned me.
And you threw up?
Yes. It was so frat boy. It was like, yeah.
Are you a blackout drinker?
No.
No, you remember everything?
Yeah.
You have to make I used to make the phone calls. There's got to be some calls you make where you're like, what exactly? Where they call you back and you're trying to piece together the night before, but you have to act like, no, I remember that.
No.
No? So you drink a lot, but it hasn't really affected you that badly.
Well, I don't know. I'm obviously grossly overweight. Maybe that's, could have something to do with it. Could be an effect, but no, other than that, I wouldn't say. No.
Does the weight, is it something like, for me, it's sex. Eating is tough. I think eating and sex are very similar because you can't be abstinent. Like, you know what I mean? You can not drink, you can not do drugs, but you can't not fuck, or you can't not be sexual, you can't not eat. So has it been something that's always been a struggle for you where you're like, all right, I kind of want to fix this, or, how do you kind of take that on?
What?
The weight, yeah.
The weight? Just try to, exercise a lot. And if I, obviously I know how to lose weight. The hard part's keeping it off. So, it's kind of fun to lose weight, because it's all very active and, when
are you going to do that?
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, you can do it pretty easy.
Oh, yeah.
It's just because it's just like maybe several weeks, and it's like people are like, "Oh my God, you look fabulous!"
Yeah,
and then it just gets really boring.
And it kind of motivates you to lose more
beer.
Then you go right back to.
Yeah.
Sounds like you need beer, George. I think that's what Jimmy's getting at. You need beer.
No, George, you seem like a little. I know you're tired too because morning radio is a bitch.
Yeah.
But you seem a little bummed. A little
really?
bit. Yeah, slightly bummed.
Jeez. I don't know. But, maybe if we change the subject, maybe I wouldn't be. But
okay, all right.
But that's you can talk. You talk.
Well, it's
about
hard to change the subject when the book is called "Drinking."
Yeah, I guess
George.
that's what kind of motivated me to talk about it.
Yeah, okay.
Because it leads into the book, "A Barstool Professional's Guide to Beer: Drinking with George."
Yeah, that's kind of.
It's fun. Yeah, that's it. It's a laugh a minute.
Well, what could you tell us about the book there, George?
It's just a couple dozen anecdotes from my life regarding beer, involving beer in general. And there's all sorts of tidbits, little factoids about beer and stuff like that.
What made you want to write a book about, obviously you like to drink, but what made you want to write a book about beer? Because your life is probably interesting. Again, you're a guy that everybody knows. Mm-hmm. So what made you want to just tie the alcohol in with it?
Just kind of playing off my image from
his character
show,
was known to
right.
tip a few back.
Do you get to a point when you're doing a show like where you're on for a long time where you start to want to change direction in the way they're portraying you? I think they said Larry Linville from MASH, who was Frank Burns, they said that was, the producer always said that was one mistake they made, was they never allowed him to kind of go beyond just being idiot Frank Burns. Like everybody else evolved, but he didn't really evolve as a character. When you're doing something for 11 years, do you get to a point where you want to, I want this guy to be taken more seriously, or I want this guy to do this, or whatever it is?
Didn't happen to me. I didn't feel that way. It was a big group of folks. There was, 7 or 8 of us usually, series regulars, and it's only 22 minutes, so you kind of had to. Make do with your little angle of the show that week, whether it was,
sure.
Whether it was the story was about you, or whether the B story was about you, or, it didn't really matter.
How about Kirstie Alley? You mean, obviously know her well. She's making a weird living now. Like, it's a weird... It's kind of like it's something that obviously hurts her, is being the weight, and she keeps going
she's pretty fat.
She is. But she's like trying to take it.
No one ever thought she would become a big girl, George. Did you see it on set at Cheers?
No.
Yeah, she's like a completely different person now.
But what's interesting to me is not the fact that she's heavier. It's the way that it's almost like taking something that hurts you and owning it to make it comfortable. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, for me, I'm a perv. I get hookers, all that shit. So a way of me not helping it, and a way of me of fucking owning it.
Yeah.
And using it in my. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's kind of what seems
I
to
don't
have
know. Yeah.
You don't talk to her anymore?
Yeah,
or?
I speak with her now and then.
Yep.
Yeah. She's hilarious.
But does she get tired of the whole the fat actress thing, or is she comfortable with it? Or
I haven't spoken with her about these issues. Whether she's tired of that, or tired of tabloids, and it's not really what we talk about. But so I can't speak for her. And she speaks so well for herself. So.
Yeah, she is. I mean, I'm just kind of, I guess, from my own experience, just interested. That's all.
Yeah.
I read half your book, George, and I didn't get to the end where you have a whole chapter on rehab, I noticed. I didn't get there yet. What's your thoughts on rehab? Because there's a quote that starts the chapter. It says, "Why is it that when you drink 7 nights a week in college, you're a partier, but after that, you're an alcoholic?" So you don't believe in rehab, right?
Well, yeah, no, I have lots of friends and family, indeed, in rehab. And, rehab. Well, in recovery is.
Recovery, sure, yeah.
And, and I think it's awesome. And, I've thought about it as a career move. Because I think there's some serious networking done at those meetings, But I've also thought about becoming a Cub fan as a career move. Just because all the cool guys are.
But have you thought about quitting? Like, I'm not saying you need to. I just don't know.
Yeah, no, I've quit from time to time. Not in a comprehensive way where I've joined the program or anything like that, but just out of discipline,
Just because say, like, all right, I know this might be getting a little out of hand, so I want to see if I can do it for X amount of time.
No, not because I thought it was getting out of hand. Just because, I was on a diet, or because, I just felt like it.
What's the longest you're able to stop? Or that you chose to stop?
6 weeks, maybe a couple months, something like that.
How good did that first one feel?
That was great. I was in Amsterdam. I was like, I know I'm going to drink again, have a beer again.
Yeah.
So, like, if I don't have a beer in Amsterdam, and then
well, of course.
I'm going to be, like, down at the corner and just, have some crap beer.
When you were, you kind of, it's kind of hard when you're portrayed as a guy in a show who drinks. That's your thing. You're the guy who's sitting there with a beer, you're Norm. Did that kind of make you drink more, or were you like, was that the guy you were when you kind of came in?
Kind of was the guy when I came in. A lifetime in the making, the preparation for the role. And
it happened to work out, and it happened to give you a great role.
Yeah.
So you write a book about drinking. I don't mean to obsess over the drinking. It's just, it is the book.
Yeah, it is the book.
Because to me, we write what we know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've written stuff, and it's like you kind of write with the stuff that's good about you and the stuff that's bad about you. So to me, like, the fact that George wrote this, and you could have written about anything, because, again, you are who you are. It says something. It's like, I know you love beer and it's fun, but that to me, that's like, that's owning something that is, at times, maybe frightening.
Yeah,
I think so.
Kind of like the Kirsty thing?
In a way, for me, the sex, yeah. Or in a way, owning stuff that is, or somehow taking something that's bad and hurting me and making it work for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just why, I guess that's why I'm talking on it.
That's okay. You can talk whatever you want.
Now, this is the soft cover, right?
Paperback.
So, paperback, I mean. So did you add anything to the paperback that wasn't in the original book?
I added one more thank you or something.
That was it. The cover is softer.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Did you?
No, why would I add two?
Well, no, that's what people do to sell more copies.
Oh,
you
like
add a little to the paperback,
version,
so
DVD.
the people that bought the hardcover go, wow, now I need the paperback because he added a chapter.
I've added chapters to both books in paperback because it kind of motivated people to go out, like, because they're like, why would I buy the same book I have?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It kind of, all right, I'll buy it because it's $15 instead of $25.
Yeah,
it's got an extra chapter in it.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking. But what? I guess.
Let me go to the phones. Kevin from Connecticut. We got George Wendt in studio from Cheers fame, of course. Kevin, what do you got?
No.
He can't hear you, buddy. He's got George Wendt.
Yeah. He yelled Norm, which is
I
kind
could
of
hear
fun.
that actually.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
The table.
Fun for everyone.
Yeah.
Kevin, what do you got?
When you were on Cheers, did you actually drink beer?
Nah, it was fake beer, non-alcoholic beer.
Couldn't drink it?
The director thought the cast might get sluggish, according to
I'm
our
having
director.
real beer right now for you, buddy.
Really? All right.
Now, there was never a time that there was a real beer just for the hell of it?
Oh, yeah, towards the end of the
course.
evening, we convinced the prop man to slip some real beers in because we were mostly done.
Yeah, they had their takes, and, sure. Why not enjoy a beer?
What's that, sir?
One last thing.
About the
Sure.
beer.
Loved you in Dreamscape, buddy.
Oh, yeah, Dreamscape.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Let me say hi to Greg in Jersey. Greg?
Hey, what's up, George? How you doing?
Good.
Hey, George, I was at I was a Paramount VIP for the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
What time did you guys start drinking? Because the whole cast, you guys were all shit-faced.
You talking about in Boston when the episode aired?
Correct.
We started drinking when the show aired. When we got there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was a 2-hour show, and nobody thought to feed us, and we were just a little lit up.
Oh, a bunch of booze, no food.
Yeah.
Is it hard?
Hey, Jimmy, stop being such a freaking downer, too. Let the guy drink.
I'm not being a down and not letting him drink.
Yeah,
Sir,
really.
it's like I believe me, I relate to George in a certain way, and he's written a book about something. So what kind of an idiot would I be if I didn't talk about the guy he comes in, he goes, and this I'm not saying how you doing? I'm hungover. All right, my book. What's it called? Drinking with George. All right, well, how do we not go there? To me, that's really interesting.
Of course.
That's great.
I didn't say I was hungover. I hadn't had coffee yet.
All right, actually, all right. You're correct. I did say
It's a big part of his life, the beer.
it is.
Do you drink anything else?
Yeah, the odd shooters.
The odd shooters, sure.
Yeah.
So what is your I guess what's your favorite beer? I have to ask.
Oh,
you that.
that's a great question.
Honestly, I don't. I'm a creature of whim. I just like.
Let's make
can
history
stand
today,
there.
because I know you've never
No.
said what your favorite beer is. Let's make history today. What's your favorite beer, if you had to say?
I swear to God, I can't do it.
I believe him too. I really do. What beer sucks? There's got to be one that you won't drink.
I don't really like the some of the new craft brews that are like seasonal and fruity and pumpkiny and raspberry. Those.
You always
sorts
taste
of
like
types
fucking beer.
Yeah, I like beer and yellow or dark or in between. I'm sort of digging the craft brews, obviously, but I'll just grab a 6-pack of anything. Depending on how I feel.
I used to drink the beer I found was awful because I was young. I couldn't have no money. So one of them was Meister. You ever drink Meisterbrow?
Meisterbrow.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible, but you can get a cake for it. Oh, but we never drank it cold. We only drank it warm.
Okay, see, that's a problem.
You gotta chill it up a little bit.
$8 for a case of beer. So you could drink Meisterbrow?
Yeah. Yeah.
George is definitely a fucking drinker. anyone who says Meisterbrow, that's not bad.
Sure.
It was terrible.
Really?
Oh,
When will you have your first beer today?
yeah. What time? We don't have any here. We'd offer you.
Yeah.
It would be kind of fun if he was drinking a beer while talking about his Drinking with George book.
Right. I'll
Why
have the
not?
Coffee. What? Because I don't drink in the daytime.
You started pretty much. You make yourself wait till.
Yeah, that's why I hate daylight savings time. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Come on, go down already.
Are the shakes real bad as you wait wait for the sun to go
Yeah,
down?
I'm shaking away.
No, but have you had? Do you make yourself wait? All right, I'd like to indulge a little bit, but I better wait until.
Yeah, actually, like when the game comes on at 6 out west or something, I'm kind of like, it's like still 2 hours of daylight. I don't really, so
you're
a little bit thrown off.
Right.
Yeah.
Does the wife give you crap about it, or the kids like, yeah,
No.
come on? No, they don't care.
No.
All right.
Let me say hi to Steve in Florida. We got George Wendt in studio.
Hey, George, how you doing?
Good.
Listen, I saw you at the Great American Beer Fest in Denver, Colorado. Tell us a little bit about that. I know you made the appearance, I guess, to kind of sign in some autographs or whatever, but did you get a chance to enjoy the beer, and what you think about the different regions and all?
It's really kind of shocking, the quality of the craft brew, movement in America, at least. I'm sure all over the world, but it just blows my mind. Everything is just ridiculously good.
What was this beer event?
Great American Beer Festival in Denver, and it's probably they give out awards, and it's probably the biggest award thing for America.
For the beer itself?
For beers, various categories of beers.
Did you go out there, or did they bring you out as a celebrity?
I think I went out there by way of trying to promote my book.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went out there to kind of be around a bunch of other
drunks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. My book wasn't released yet, so it was kind of not the best timing in the world because I couldn't really sell any or sign any or how they do, you know.
How long before the book came out did you promote there?
Kind of just a few weeks before. So the timing was bad, but I'll go back, say, next year if possible, and, you know, be like selling the merch, if you will.
Do you think television now is what happened? You know, I find this getting a bunch of shit now on Family Guy because of some anti-Vietnam War joke or whatever. But doesn't it seem like the only place we allow any type of edgy comedy anymore on TV is in cartoons? I mean, what do you think as a guy who was in a successful show about what is being passed off, I guess, as edgy comedy or whatever on sitcoms now?
Yeah, I don't pay much attention to a lot of shows, so I'm not a good person to answer that. But you know, a lot of the comedy is very soft, and if they try to be edgy, it's it's really more fun on the cartoons because they're just so fast. Like for example, Family Guy, it's just hilarious, but they say stuff and it's over and it's like, did he? Whoa, what?
Yeah,
you know, and the references are so fast and funny that you know, it's like a freight train. You just can't.
You guys want the clip that you're referencing, Jim?
Yeah,
so I have it if you want.
Okay, yeah, this was on this week's, I think, South Park.
Sunday's Family Guy.
Oh, Family Guy, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If it ever goes.
There is it's actually a very funny part in this where they have it stopped playing. There's two they show the Washington Monument. Oh.
There it is, Washington, D.C., the seat of government for the world's former most powerful nation.
Wow, those are all the monuments I read about in school. There's the Washington Monument.
Washington
There's
Monument.
the Obama Monument.
It's black, much bigger.
See, because
and there's the Vietnam War Memorial.
Hey, check out that Vietnamese guy giving the business to those Vietnam vets.
Scoreboard! Scoreboard! Oh, what happened to your friend? Hey, I know that guy. I kill him. He cried like a bitch.
Holy
Vietnam,
shit.
undefeated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
Wow.
So you don't really watch most of sitcoms or anything like that?
Not really. What I think I've seen, like Curb Your Enthusiasm, I'll watch, and it's not judgmental or anything.
I'm judging. I think most of it's terrible. It's because I think they're too afraid of being offensive. They're too afraid of getting the letters from people. I mean, even Sam Malone. It's like he's just a drinker who wanted to bang a bunch of chicks in a bar. He's in recovery, but he wanted to bang a bunch of chicks. And the idea of wanting to bang a bunch of girls now in a sitcom, they'd probably go, well, it's not really likable. He should be.
Yeah, except for Charlie Sheen does that, and
in real life, yeah.
Well, in the show, come on now.
I'm hearing that George has to go.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, they're saying you got to go.
The book is called...
I mean, we could talk to you all day.
It's called...
got to go? Yeah.
Drinking with George, a Barstool Professional's Guide to Beer. Have you done signings and stuff?
Yeah.
All right. Are you doing any for this now on the software?
I don't think that's...
Did you want to do promo for this? Or they kind of like, you got to get out and do some promo? And you're like,
No, I think I wanted to do it. I mean, I definitely wanted to do it.
What else are you doing?
Not much.
He's drinking beer.
A lot of theater lately.
Oh, you are? I meant for the book.
For the book, yeah, various radio and that's about it.
Are you doing plays?
Yeah.
Do you like theater acting?
Yeah.
I think I'm terrible at it. I've tried it. It's fucking hard, man. Because you have to kind of project out, but not look like you're talking unnaturally.
Yeah, and then they mic you these days, which is a bit odd. So it's a bit of adjustment if you're not mic'd.
How much do you despise cell phones and beepers and all that shit?
It's all right. It doesn't bother me that much, but it's pretty funny how they go off sometimes.
He's got to go.
I really haven't hit one thing that George relates to. I'm suck. My apologies, Mr.
No,
Wendt.
it was a fine interview, but
you're a very nice guy.
They're saying he really has to go.
I don't know what you're talking about, but if you're giving me the hook, fine, whatever. I thought I was here till 8:30. We're waiting a word.
Unless I misheard, I was told he had to be somewhere at 8:30. So.
See, George, I wasn't giving you the hook.
Got to be across the street at 9.
Oh, they gave us the wrong information. We have you at 7:45, and we have Mike Baker.
There you go. See, you got somebody waiting in the wings.
No. But we have him till 8:15. But I think we were told that you had to leave at 8:15.
Whatever. Peachy.
All right.
Well, what's going on?
I do what I'm told. I don't care.
You don't care?
What happened?
I don't know. I don't think George is happy, and I like George. I don't feel like he's happy. I don't know why. I don't want you to be upset with us.
No, I'm fine.
I thought he had to go. That's all. I wasn't giving you the hook. Now I feel awkward.
No, I don't feel awkward. I got to pee anyway. I mean, we talked for a half hour. That's fine. But
cool.
Mike Baker is here, so I guess we should take a break.
All right.
Because I'm going to take a leak. But I have the feeling you feel like you're annoyed at this. I don't want you to be annoyed at this.
You're right, George.
It's fine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we go too far with the drinking? Maybe.
Wasn't intentional.
It was all based on
Was it good
the book.
for you?
It was all based on the book, Drinking with George.
I mean, no, we weren't. Look, I wasn't talking about that to make you uncomfortable. It's something I talk about. We do 5 hours a day here, so you can cover everything for a long period of time. And,
sure.
I've talked a lot about my own drinking, my own, I guess, demons. And, I don't know. That's
You
fine.
think he's got demons?
Like any of us do. I mean, I don't think George.
What's your demons, George?
Gosh, I don't know. I never thought about it. Children.
You don't like children?
No.
I want to hug George. I really like George Wendt.
Could you give Jimmy a hug?
Before we go, I'll hug him. I don't know if he wants to hug.
We're gonna hug. We're gonna hug.
Like men. I don't mean I know soft. I
Like
want
a Viking.
Yeah, like men.
Like men. How
All right.
men hug.
Yeah. All right. Well, this ended a little awkwardly. Let's be honest. It was an odd time for all of us.
I think George hates us now.
I don't want George to hate us for real. I want George to
come back and enjoy our show.
All right.
All right. Well, I do have to leak, so we'll take a leak. Hold on. We're all going to break.
Yeah, that was all right, man.
I don't want George just to leave while we're talking.
Kenny?
Hi.
Kenny.
I want to take a photo with you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what are you on a commercial break now?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thanks for coming in, sir.
Sure.
Marsh, do you photograph Mr. Wendt and myself? He's a very nice guy.
Jimmy getting a photograph with George Wendt. The great George Wendt. That's what I say, George.
Thanks.
Thank you, George.
Lid for my. Thank you. I'm gonna take a leak. My morning drug. Okay.
Huh? That was good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no problem, man. Good luck with the book.
Enjoy it.
All right.
Be well, George.
There goes George Wendt. The great George Wendt.
I do have to piss.
Huh?
I do have to piss.
Speaker on the hallway. Eric's trying to get something signed.
Oh, okay.
Coming up, my next segment.
Oh, what's your next segment, Kenny?
Well, you'll have to sit through the commercials.
Are you excited about the next segment as you produce the show today?
Yes, sir.
It's one of those really, really weird days.
It's a great day.
It is a great day.
It's raining in New York.
Yeah.
The only thing that would make it better is thunder and lightning.
Yeah. What's up, Jimmy?
He's a nice guy. He just strikes me as very sad. He strikes me as a really sad guy. Like, I feel like we missed something with him.
He hasn't done a fucking thing since Cheers.
But I mean, like, he's on the edge of...
Dude, he's a mess.
Yeah, he is a mess.
What's wrong, Sam?
But he was a nice guy.
Sam?
Mr. Wendt chose not to do liners for the show.
Oh, no?
No.
All right.
Wait, ask him why. Bring him back.
No.
Bring him back.
Bring him back in.
Bring him back in here.
Eric,
E-Rock, get him. E-Rock.
He's not mad. He just has no idea what all this was. What happened? Yeah.
Wait, bring him back.
What's he?
Go get him. Go get him. Tell him we're back on the air.
But what was weird, though, is like, I was being very honest with the guy.
Look.
I wasn't being rude to him. Was I rude to him?
No. He's a very talented guy. He's not working because he's drinking too much. And that's sort of what you were trying to get at. Subtly, without being a dick.
But I was only like trying to get him to talk about it because to me that's interesting. It's like, I mean, I would talk about.
E-Rock's back.
Oh boy.
What happened?
Yeah, he's done.
All right, fuck him.
What?
I asked him. I said we just came back. They just finished doing live reads. We wanted to see if you had more time. Would you like to come back on and continue? And he goes, no, I really have nothing to nothing more to say here. So,
But he had nothing to say to begin with.
Yeah, he was
going to
very.
the bathroom,
I wonder if he heard any of the show before.
No, you see him; he's a mess.
Yeah,
he's tired and he's very hungover. In my opinion,
I think he's also probably hypersensitive to the
drinking thing,
alcoholism thing. Like
I understand he is, and
like
I
he
don't.
doesn't want people to take drinking out of the context of it's a fun thing.
No, I understand that, but it's
he
like,
wanted us to just keep the drinking as a fun thing, which is
I can't do that. Like I don't.
That's tough for Jimmy
because it's not honest. It's like I'm honest about what I am.
And where you come from, that's almost impossible to do. You've seen what drinking could do to you personally and the people around you. So it's tough for Jimmy just to turn all that off and go, okay, drinking is fun, yay.
But you know, when Ozzy's here, he'll talk about the horror stories. But it's never a bummy interview. It's always a fun interview. And yet he's talking, he admits that he almost choked his wife. Or he talks about the horrific things. And when a guy comes in after writing a book about beer, but it says, I'm like too tired, you have to ask.
Sam nailed it, though.
Yeah.
His book is called Drinking with George. It's all just fun things about drinking. The rehab quote I read, we twisted that around. And he wanted us to just keep it all fun, like beer is fun. And
I didn't think
let's party, and And we took a serious approach with that, and he was not prepared.
Trying to ask him real questions, like what happens do you feel like the money's going to run? I'm interested in that. A guy's been on top for 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I apologize if I fucked up.
I don't think you fucked up.
All right.
I mean, I think we did our best with him. I don't think it's one for the ages, right?
Not at all. But to me, the interesting part of that was his.
They're saying you got to go. What? Really? What? Who?
No, they didn't.
What happened?
Apparently, George Wendt's Wikipedia has been updated since this interview.
And what does it say? He's a
very nice guy.
It says
he looks like he's in rough shape, though, man. Ted Danson doesn't look like that. Even Fat Kirstie Alley doesn't look like that.
And he mentioned the weight.
Woody Harrelson doesn't look like that. Shelley Long doesn't look like that. Jay Thomas doesn't look like that. We see him every day. George has, in my opinion, a drinking problem that's getting in the way of some things. Maybe it's not our place to have an intervention with a fucking sitcom legend, but
I didn't want to have an intervention. It was just like if you're talking about, if you write a book about it. Again, I know what this is because I wrote a book about it. About the fucking perversion. I get it. She's doing Fat Actress. It all ties in. We're all fucking addicts on some level. So just come on.
Yeah.
Talk about what it's doing to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, that's more interesting
what
than.
Was he talking about? Like a workout program. What is he talking about? When did he? What?
The exercises.
I said, when are you going to start? I didn't know. Mars, did you like that interview?
It was a little slow.
A little slow.
Just a little slow. To me, he didn't seem like a dick, though. He seemed really depressed and really bummed out.
I think because we took the serious approach. I think he really wanted to keep it fun with just beer. Beer, fun, drink,
But he
fun.
wasn't in a fun vibe when he came in.
It's true. He came in very low energy.
He came in very low energy, like a guy who had too many beers last night. So how do you not talk? What are we going to...
His eyes look like he's dealing with maybe too many beers last night.
All right, well... The listeners are annoyed. I'll take the hit on this one.
They're all right. You did a great job. What are we going to do? We're not going to keep beer fun when there's another angle we could take. Your angle was great.
I don't even mind keeping beer fun if he was in a fun mood.
What, Danny?
Just instant feedback made me laugh. Somebody on a cell phone says, "How does Coach look?" It just made me giggle.
All right, good.
If he came in like in a kind of a jocular, upbeat mood, when hey guys, hey, what's up, man? I'm just drinking. Then you do the interview. But when a guy comes in and he looks like he just needs to be laid down and have a fucking and be held.
Where do you think it went wrong? When I mentioned that Ted Danson hasn't called him yet, but Jimmy has done the show with him.
No, he was bummed before that. The drinking got him, I think.
What was the first question? No, he sat down weird.
Yeah, no.
When we talked about his liquid dump.
Oh yeah, because he was squeezing one out in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, and you asked for a solid.
Carolina man says that was radio molasses.
I was also glad that he wasn't wearing headphones when you mumbled, "Ha ha ha, this sucks."
I mean, well, kind of did though.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna try to beat the guy up.
No.
He wasn't a jerk or anything, but it was just it was like the proverbial pulling teeth, though.
You want the beginning? Because Travis
Yeah,
has
what's
it
the
if you want.
beginning?
Yeah, let's see where it went wrong. George Wendt. Wow, man.
He did go.
It's a weird day.
It is.
Like, the timing's off on everything, and then it's like, all right, well, let's do our George Wendt interview, and no, he's too busy taking a beer shit. So now we got to wait.
Kenny is working on his next segment.
Is he? All right, that's great, because the first one was just amazing, so can't wait for the second one.
I don't know if it's great or not.
We got a salute to former intern Sean we can play right now for everybody. Is Sean coming in, though, so we could get his side of the story?
Yep.
As far as Troy Kwan going out with his girlfriend? Troy told that whole story yesterday?
Yeah, he'll come in.
He'll come in, what,
Maybe later
Friday?
this
Or
week.
I'm sorry,
yeah,
I'm back
Friday.
here.
Yeah, let's do that. Here's George Wendt.
Oh
my God. All right, so
George.
can you pause that, Travis? Thank you. That was me reacting to what he looked like.
Yeah.
He came in here really slow. His eyes were like, he looked really tired, possibly hungover. I don't know. And that's why the Jesus Christ, like, oh, this is going to be rough.
Yeah.
All right, continue, Travis. Oh, my God. George.
How are you?
Good.
Sit.
How are you, George? Welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show. Fresh as a daisy?
Yeah.
How did the bathroom go? You all right?
Yeah. You have the cameras?
We have cameras in there, yeah. Did you take a good one?
It left my scent.
Huh?
I left my scent.
Oh, you had to drop a deuce before you came in?
Yeah, nice.
All right, here's the thing.
But I want to talk about what he dropped.
Oh, yeah.
Was it solid or was it, was it messy?
It's solid.
Solid? Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. That's healthy.
I love the fact that you actually answered that question.
Why not? What are we going to do? Talk about Cheers? He doesn't want to hear about Cheers. Let's talk about our dumps for a while.
Are you tired of hearing about Cheers?
Whatever.
You don't care?
I don't have an agenda.
All right. So what
Other than I need coffee.
We could get you coffee.
No, it's actually
the
press rep is on her way.
What?
The press rep is on her way.
All right.
Is she bringing you coffee?
You can stop this.
He didn't realize that you guys were on the air when he was talking about his dumps.
Oh, well, how about the on-air light was on?
Fair. I mean, I'm not saying you're to blame.
I mean,
but
you said welcome to the Opie and Anthony show.
I did, right?
Yeah, we have headphones on.
See, that was rough right from
We
the
have headphones on.
Well, you're talking into mics, which is not
right. Which is not a normal practice when you're not doing a radio show. That was rough. What do you do with that?
The first minute was like, all right, we joke a little bit and then get into...
Right.
But he seemed very down.
Yeah, we were trying to get the energy up and get a rhythm going. It started out okay. It could have went much better from that point, but never did.
Oof.
Are you just annoyed by it?
No.
Yeah.
He's not. Because he wasn't being mean or he wasn't trying to be a dick. He's just hung over and a little bummed that I think it really gets to him. He's probably running out of money. I don't know if he is or not, but that's the indication I got.
Right. Well, you got to do something about it.
It's rough. It's rough when you're fucking on top for all those years.
Right. Yeah, he had a great run. All right, why don't we take a break? We got Mike Baker coming in, right?
Yes, we do.
He's going to be a great guest.
Hope he's hung over. How great would that be?
That would be wonderful.
He's just sad and bummed out.
That'd be wonderful. And I was telling these guys I loved the George Wendt interview because it was so weird and
bizarre,
awkward, and we all remember Norm from Cheers as being the fun guy. Everybody wanted to be around him. And we got a much different Norm today. We tried everything.
Yeah.
We really did. And now he's mad at us, and I don't even know why. Why is he mad at us? What were we supposed to do?
Because he's hung. Here's why he's mad at us. Because he's probably tired. Maybe he's not feeling up to sorts.
Yeah, we don't know.
And then he's immediately confronted with questions about alcoholism.
And people are like, why couldn't you keep it fun? Like,
Oh, fuck. Whoever said that.
I'm just saying.
Dick.
No, I laugh, though, because they're like, why couldn't you just keep it fun? Beer is fun type of thing, because it's George Wendt.
That's boring.
Thank you.
Who gives a shit?
Thank you. I think to go the other way and make it uncomfortable for everybody was the way to go.
But to me, it was only what interests me. Like, I didn't think that you can do a lot with somebody who just thinks beer. Like, yeah, beer is cool. Yeah, I love beer.
Beer.
Right.
Right, Danny?
I'm 40.
What, were we supposed to keep it fun? Huh?
What's some of them other kind of beers we got?
No kidding, but I said he couldn't even name a beer that he sort of likes the best.
Budweiser?
I even go, hey, what's your favorite beer? I go, if you had to say, Danny, if you had to say, what's your favorite beer?
I'm a Guinness man.
If I would say Corona, which is I know, but I would say Corona.
I think you know, especially if you're writing a book that's based around beer and drinking it. I'm pretty sure you have your favorites and your least favorites.
I should have asked, what's your top 10 favorite beers? Then maybe he didn't want to commit to any beer because he's waiting for that big endorsement still.
I know what beers I don't like.
Yeah.
You know?
Did he do the Miller commercials? Did George Wendt ever do a beer commercial?
I'll have to look it up. I'm not sure.
Because maybe he's holding out because he was like, well, if I mention Budweiser, then I won't get Coors or whoever, calling me for the big beer endorsement. I don't know.
Coors.
Hey, Kenny, what's going on? Kenny's producing the show today, or sort of producing the show today. He's helping us out because everyone has to step up today.
Yeah, good morning, and let me tell you, it's a terrific show.
Yeah, what do you like about it so far?
Just the awkwardness of everything.
I don't want to hear that. What, Sam?
I'm just saying, I don't know why you guys are saying that the whole show has been a bizarro show from the get-go.
Yeah, you're listening to one of those. Look, and call last minute. We're making this up as we go. I could have said fuck it. Jimmy could have said fuck it.
No,
I got a newborn at home. I could go home.
I'm just...
and no one's going to question it.
I would have been in this mood with Ann here, too. And honestly, I would have been... I'm not
in a bad mood. I'm not in a bad mood or anything. I'm just saying that, that started the bizarro show today.
I feel terrific.
You do?
Yeah.
Was George a little... What was it like behind the scenes with George?
Fuck that fat fuck.
Oh. Kenny. He seems like a nice guy.
No, fat guys are usually jolly, rotund.
Right?
He came in. He probably doesn't like talking about shit. Personally, I love talking about shit.
I thought he kind of went with that. I thought
he didn't think he was on the air.
Oh,
for
that's
a million
why
people to hear.
Well, we're supposed to explain we're on the air. But there's an on-air light on.
Yeah,
we
and
have
we're holding
headphones. We got
Mike we're talking
microphones in front of us.
Yeah, the hell with him. He's yesterday's news.
Mike Baker is entering the studio. He does Red Eye with Jimmy. He served 14 years with the CIA. Mike,
17.
how are you?
Sorry for the late, Mike.
17 years with the CIA?
Yeah. 17 years.
Sorry, it says 14. Why would our one sheet be right?
That George thing went really well.
Oh, you heard that?
Yeah. That was,
oh, man.
that was good.
Really?
I was in the other room trying to slash my wrist.
Oh, you were here for that?
No, I caught the tail end.
Oh.
I caught the tail end. And then the post wrap-up, which was very entertaining.
We just, we didn't know what to do with the guy. Like, he came in here sluggish and, like, he didn't want to be here, and he's got a book about beer, so we're talking about beer with the guy.
We didn't know what to do.
Beer seems like the logical place to go with George Wendt. I mean, that's what I
we
would
tried
have
to go
done,
other places, like, a lot of...
Well, you're a guy who was interrogated people, like, for real, right? Like, I'm sure you've been in those rooms.
I mean, you could have tried beating the shit out of him, but, it would have made it possibly more entertaining. We got some information.
I'm the guy that usually beats the shit out of him, but I usually don't like beating the shit out of guys that don't deserve it. Like, he didn't deserve to be beat up. We were a little frustrated by him, but,
Well, they showed me a couple of stills. He just looked tired. He looked, he looked like he was dragging, all right, as opposed to us, we look very perky.
How do you get a guy like that to open up?
You know what? Actually, that's a really good question. We could spend all day talking about interrogation. I'm sure that the listeners would love to do that.
He's not on the fucko list. It's just what happens with these guys.
The fucko list. I forgot we had a fucko list.
Even George Wendt doesn't go on the fucko list.
George, did you hear that fucking painful interview?
Yeah.
And people were like mad saying that I was allowing my personal. I really wasn't. I wasn't trying to pin this guy as an alkie, but he walked in.
No,
I thought he was fucking a little sluggish. What am I going to talk to him about? So tell us all about Amstel Light.
Dude.
He felt like he wanted to shoot himself.
He looked like he was in the middle, in between being really fucking drunk and hungover. That middle fucking period.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he was a wreck.
I thought he looked sad.
He looked extremely sad, extremely tired, and possibly very hungover or drunk. I don't know.
I was sitting right next to him, and I did take a look at his eyes, and they were, I've seen that in the mirror plenty of times. They were very red and glassy, and he was giving off the vibe like he probably had just woken up.
And his book was all about beer, so what were we supposed to do?
Yeah,
it's
like,
all Cheers tie-in, yeah.
What I wanted to avoid because I thought, like, this is George Wendt, I want to treat the guy well, I don't want to be a douche, is attempting to do a Zucro interview, like an upbeat, so, George, the beer, because you knew it was going to be a very slow, kind of trudging, if that's a word, interview.
Plotting.
Plotting is the word, yes, thank you, Anthony. You knew it was going to be a plotting, and I didn't want to see him throwing out, like, little beer quips that were going to bomb, like, you know what I mean? Like, Bud Light, but, I'm not light. Whatever it was he would have said. I said, sometimes you want to just talk to somebody.
Chip Wendt?
Might as well be.
Yeah, cheers. That's what they say to me instead of booze.
Might as well be. The book was...
Yeah, I didn't read it.
I guess there's an audience out there for a 200-page book on beer quibs. Is it a quib or quip?
It's a quip.
Quip. Beer quips.
But wasn't it interesting to hear, like, to me, what you wanted to learn is, like, the guy was talking about being on Cheers and maybe having, like, not as much money. And he was like, yeah, run. Like, he kind of...
Well, that's what you kind of want to hear from
Yes.
him. Like obviously, everyone knows him from Cheers. Talk about maybe some behind-the-scenes stuff. The cast changes, when Woody Harrelson came on. Like, there's just different things you could talk about, I guess.
I wish I should have actually thought of that.
Nah.
What do you have? No?
Sorry, no. You weren't here, no. The guy was not easy. Because we did try to go down some of those fucking roads, and he just had nothing for us. Yeah, absolutely nothing.
No, I wasn't saying that's what you should have done. I'm saying, like, that's what I think would have, like...
We tried to go in a lot.
It probably wouldn't have worked either.
A caller had called in with some Cheers.
Yeah, no, we went down all those roads, trust me, to get him going. He wasn't
interested.
This guy had nothing for the show.
He was really, but I don't think he was being a jerk off. I didn't want to be nasty to him. I just wanted to talk, because, like, look, I'm honest. I'll talk to you about what's going on, and I don't know, I guess I expect the same out of other people.
We mentioned Kirstie Alley and Ted Danson, thank you, sir, and Woody Harrelson. He had nothing on any of those people. He had nothing.
I even asked him about television today, like sitcoms today, are they soft?
I
have nothing, whatever.
It was kind of like a Pat Munaki without material.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We all know Pat has his material, but he had kind of that,
Start calling him George from Munaki.
Let's say hi to Rocco in Jersey. Rocco.
Dude. Hey, what's up? Yo, I caught STP on Howard Stern, and they were fucking awful. I don't think they were as bad as George Wendt, but they were fucking all strung out, and they couldn't answer questions, and Howard was just fucking... He had to try so hard to make the interview any good at all.
He was probably
you guys were better with Tattoo Talk.
Yeah, we did better with Tattoo Talk yesterday. Well, I mean, I guess what were we going to do with SDP in the end? But
Scott Weiland just seems he's everything I fucking hate in a performer. I mean, it makes me. I mean, again, the guy's very talented. And I'm not saying rock stars can't be loons sometimes. Like, Tommy Lee's a lunatic. But he's not a dick.
If you're interesting, crazy, that's fine. It actually works for you.
Right.
But if you're a fucking prick douchebag...
Well, he doesn't want to be in the radio station. He doesn't want to be here.
You'll be good
That's
with
the problem.
Slash, guys. Good luck.
Yeah, no, Slash will be really good today, absolutely. People saying that George Wendt sounded okay over the radio. But to see him, I get, obviously they couldn't see what we were seeing.
Right, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't take it as him, honestly.
The guy saying how he works out, I'm like, what? When? Where? When?
Doing the bottle curls. Get it? Beer?
I actually said, when are you going to start that program? He said, well, I've done it. I'm like, what?
I think he was talking about putting the weight. Like, he didn't strike me, and again, this is how dumb I am. He didn't strike me as drunk. He struck me as just tired and sad. He really struck me as a guy, at that moment at least, who was very, very sad.
Well, you come down from, a lot of drinking, right?
Yeah.
The next day after a lot of drinking, you get a little of that sadness.
And how about come down from, one of the most popular shows ever on television to just not even like his buddy there doing voices of cartoon characters on Pixar movies.
Toy Story, right?
Yeah, you just kind of...
So I asked him about the money. Is it good? And he goes, it's like, he's got 5 kids, so... It's more expensive than he thought. College. It's like, what are you going to talk about? I don't know what people would have expected that But it wasn't like, hey, let's talk about alcohol because that's my thing. It was the vibe of the thing. He was fucking guy came in like he was a funeral dirge.
There's only so much you could do.
Yeah. So really, you Bud or Bud Light?
He couldn't even name it.
Nobody knows my name.
Cheers.
Cheers. He couldn't even name his favorite beer.
Dude.
And then I'm like, all right, how about 5 of your favorite beers? He didn't even want to commit to his favorite beer. Yeah. His whole book is about beer.
Isn't he used to walking in the room and probably all the radio guys going, Norm! And he sits down, right? Did you do that?
No.
Did you go, Norm?
No.
That might have gotten his spirits up, right?
No.
Just like the show.
Oh, wow, this guy, Frank. Jesus, Frank, what's up?
Oh, Frank was better.
Come on, Frank.
Oh, Frank was better.
Frank, what do you got, buddy?
Frank.
Jimmy, you're an honest guy. You talk about what you do, your demons, you prostitutes, all that stuff, right? And then you get pissed when other people don't want to talk about it.
I wasn't...
Not everyone... All right, go ahead.
But Frank, I wasn't mad.
Yeah, Frank,
I wasn't mad at him.
I got to back Jimmy up, too. Jimmy wasn't mad.
I didn't abuse him.
I didn't say you did, Jimmy, but yesterday and this morning you're saying, well, the guy wasn't honest. I'm being honest with him. Why can't he be honest? Not everyone's comfortable being that honest.
You're right. Frank is right. But I'm saying, I wasn't saying I'm being honest. He should be. If his mood was different, Frank, like if he had come in kind of like, hey, guy, like feeling a bit more upbeat, it would have been easier and more natural to flow into a silly chat about beer and the book.
If he came in like a John Candy type guy, you know what I mean? Just all happy-go-lucky, but then we would have had fun with him.
It was hard to...
No, I agree that he came in kind of like a sad sack. Like, he definitely sounded like a depressed dude, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But, like, you were kind of like, I'll use the word prodding, like, oh, well, how about the drinking and the weight? And you're asking like these questions. You could tell just from his answers, like, dude, I'm not comfortable going into this with you.
Honestly, he mentioned the weight first, Frank. He mentioned the weight, like, he said something about obesity. And then I went with it because he meant, I'm like, well, is that a thing for you? Have you tried to? Because he mentioned it, so I just kind of grabbed what he mentioned. But I never would have just mentioned his weight if he didn't mention it first.
Look, just to take you inside the, inside the show a little bit, there are times like a guest will leave and we realize, fuck, we should have taken a different angle or tried this or tried that. Absolutely. In this case, we did everything we could.
He was the Kobayashi Maru of interviews.
Absolutely. We weren't going to get anything done with him yesterday.
I agree. You guys definitely tried to work an angle with him, and he wasn't giving you much to work. Like, dude, bottom line, he was a crappy guest because he just wasn't feeling it. But Jimmy, you just kept saying well, I'm an honest guy about this and that. And it seemed like you were, and maybe you were, maybe you weren't. It just seemed like you were that the dude wasn't honest about his demons.
Honestly.
Not everyone feels that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, but I'll tell you honestly, I was not mad at him. I didn't want to quote unquote beat him up or attack him. It's like sometimes when you're talking to somebody, I find, and I guess this is maybe program training, that if I talk about myself, and it's not out of arrogance, but it's like it makes somebody else more relaxed and it shows them like, look, I'm being forthcoming, so I don't want you to think that I'm here just digging at you, trying to get you to emotionally fucking throw it all up and then just take what I can get from you. It's like I understand it and I'm willing to put myself out a little bit too. That's kind of why I do that.
All right. I get it. All right. Good talk, guys.
All right, Frank. Thank you.
But no, I wasn't mad at the guy, man. And if he had come in, don't forget with other guys that come in that are actors or whatever, if they're talking about their project and they're kind of feeling good and then you don't go down that road because it's not natural.
And not the whole, and the whole interview didn't sound like an intervention. Only
an intervention.
Only a big chunk of it.
But when a guy writes about beer and comes in looking sad, how do you not? You're on a show called about a bar.
Sad.
He looked cheered.
Yeah. How do you not talk about it?
He's like, I think at one point he's like, wow, you guys are really talking about beer a lot. I'm like, well, your fucking book is all about beer.
Your whole career was based on you with a beer in front of you.
Yeah.
I really don't know what else to ask you, sir.
How do you go upbeat with that? So
every picture we're finding on Google Images, he has a beer in his
got a beer in his hand.
The interesting thing about Google Images is that there's a lot of George Wendt photos, especially on the first page. And he looks, like miserable for the most part in a lot of these photos because I'm looking at some recent pictures, and like he'll have a smirk or like you could tell he's just smiling for the camera. And the only picture where he genuinely looks like he's having a good time is when he's really drinking
having beer.
Yeah, like in this photo, he's at a bar, he's got people around him, he's got a beer in his hand, which has been drank a little bit, and it looks like he's genuinely having a good time. And then you look at a photo, if this ever works, come here, like this. And you could just tell he's miserable. He doesn't want to be in that picture with some ass.
Yeah, George Wendt. Where'd he go? Chip's on fire today.
Is he?
Fucking hey.
Let's go to Tom in Pennsylvania. Tom.
Good morning. Happy birthday, Yimmy.
Thank you, Tom. Everyone's been overshadowed by this George Wendt incident.
Kevin in Philly. Kevin, are you going to eat those grapes, Jimmy?
No, dude.
I might take a stem or two.
Take as many as you want.
I'm starving. Kevin.
Yeah, you know, guys, I think the thing that separates your show from shows like Conan, Fallon, and all the other talk shows is that I've never seen late night where they accuse the guests of having a substance abuse problem.
Well, fair point, but the bottom line is he fucking smelled like beer, and I think he was promoting a show on beer. It was just a question.
There's a beer book.
I love the George Wendt. The George Wendt interview. I'm telling you.
What a terrific moment that was.
It was great for me. I don't believe it's a great listen. I really don't. But just what was going on that day, I fucking loved. He came in so damn hungover, depressed, sad.
And he left feeling worse.
Right.
That too fucking bad. You know what? Here's the thing. As these guests, man, we're so open on this show. It's like, it's almost, I don't expect them to be as open, but if you write a book like that and you're all lumpy and fucking bummed out, what do you want me to talk to you about? So, tell us all about the head on that German beer. We'd love to hear about it.
And he's making a bit of a comeback with those Dope Bars
those
commercials.
Suck.
He's on a plane, and
hate those.
Aaron Rodgers is in between him and the other Dope Bars guy.
Dope Bars, the Chicago guys.
And they're having some fun.
Chicago guys.
Yeah.
What's the matter, Jimmy? You're no fun.
Hey, Mike Ditka's over here. What's he doing? Hey!
Ditke.
Hey, the Bears. Fucking hate them.
I did like the skit at first.
When it was first on SNL, like years ago, with
a lot of those
Farley
SNL
and
skits when
they were
first,
fucking hilarious.
But then it's just like, all right,
it becomes a catchphrase, and
it's for State Farm. I didn't even know.
Bears.
State Farm.
State Farm.
Who could run State Farm? Ditke.
Here's George Wendt.
I think I have the window seat. You better double check that, my friend.
Oh, there it is.
Don't think we don't know who you are.
Arr.
No, that's not it. You're that State Farm discount double check guy. Discount double check. Thanks to the hundreds you saved us, we could upgrade the grill class. Grill class? Your tongs are in your seat back.
They're grilling
Save with the
big
discount double
sausages
check today.
Yeah, you
on their
know.
seat back. That's impossible. There's a cheese head on the wing.
Oh,
It's
no.
crazy.
Oh, no.
What the fuck did we just watch?
A terrible commercial.
And what's a double check?
Double check. It's like because they can't say the Bears, so they go double check.
It's not the same syllable, though.
It doesn't even fucking make
It's
sense.
awful.
The, not dub.
You don't even.
And now Travis has a minute clip of our George Wendt interview.
Oh, good. I want to hear
Every
this 'cause
time
I
we go
missed
down
this
this road and go down the George Wendt road, I'm all in.
I'm looking at it, and the interview itself was 41 minutes.
No.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't let him leave.
Yeah.
Oh, did Opie keep saying, "Hey, why don't you stick around after the break?"
The clip I have is they're telling you got to go.
Oh no.
After 41 minutes.
Were they really telling him?
Huh? No, that was a classic. They're telling.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
He was
There's
overstaying his welcome.
The times when it's not true, we go, no, seriously, they're telling you. 'Cause
Right.
Now I feel guilty saying that as well.
But see, George knew he had nothing else going on.
Yeah.
Right.
How much do you despise cell phones and beepers and all that shit?
It's all right. It doesn't bother me that much, but it's pretty funny how they go off sometimes.
It's got to go.
I really haven't hit one thing that George relates to. I'm suck. My
No,
apologies, Mr.
No,
Wendt.
it was a fine interview, but
You're a very nice guy.
They're saying he really has to go. He's
I
got
don't,
Huh?
I don't know what you're talking about. If you're giving me the hook, fine, whatever. I thought I was here till 8:30.
Oh no.
A word.
Unless I misheard, I was told he had to be somewhere at 8:30. So.
See, George, I wasn't giving you the hook.
Peachy. What's going on? I do what I'm told. I don't care.
You don't care?
What happened?
I don't know. I really. I don't think George is happy, and I like George. I don't feel like he's happy. I don't know why. I don't want you to be upset with us.
No, I'm fine.
Holy, right in front of his face, we said it. What happened?
Man, what happened? I thought we were all having fun.
No, we were never having fun.
No.
That whole what happened is like, what just happened for the last 40 minutes?
It was very uncomfortable.
It was not a good interview.
But we didn't want to feel defeated that day.
Right.
We're like, fuck no, we're going to make this work, god damn it.
Oh, I'm glad I wasn't in that day.
That's the same guys as double check.
Double check.
Double check.
Except that's after he's questioned quite heavily about whether or not he's an alcoholic.
We'll find those clips. I don't believe
why
you.
not talk about, like, what the fuck, man? These guys give up information in interviews, so why not ask him? He was a dud. The guy was he's a good guy, but it was not a good interview. And he wasn't giving anything. Would you like us to write your dialogue down so you can fucking...
Did we really accuse him of being an alcoholic?
Perhaps we asked about it.
Yeah, a lot of it was unsaid, I think.
I fucking confess everything. These fucking guys don't want to give up anything. Well, I had a beer once in the 80s. Fuck your dumb book.
The book, I'm sure, did well.
I'm sure it was terrific. Who wouldn't want to read about beer? Oh, what kind of Stein do you use for that one?
And then he's one of those guys that refuse to do liners and stuff.
Well, I mean, he decided to just take off and go home after that.
All right.
Travis and I still got our photos with him.
Huh? Travis?
I've got some George drinking discussions.
How long though? We don't need.
Well,
to go.
this started 4 minutes into the interview, so I can just.
Okay, let's just see. Let's hear how it started.
7 o'clock. Wake up.
Sure.
So you you have to get up and do radio this morning and just promote the paperback. That kind of sucks when you're out and you want to have a few more drinks and you got.
Yeah. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, the book's about beer.
The book's about beer. Yeah. So I was doing my research. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Exhaustive research.
You should come in here really hungover. It would help sell the book. I'm thinking.
So you like I'm sorry.
Good. No, go.
Are you a hard drinker? I mean, I was at one point too. I mean.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it that hard, but I drink pretty much every night.
Every night?
Unless I have some reason not to.
Yeah, that would be a hard drinker. I mean,
you think so?
Yeah, man. I mean,
okay.
Sure.
Good. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Then yes.
It's cool to not have to get up though. Like as a guy, like, you're an actor. You're obviously set because you Cheers an 11-year run you were on.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself set.
Yeah.
But,
no, look
at
the look he gave you.
Crazy.
Well, you have 5 kids.
Yeah, so
So you don't get the residual checks. The
Yeah,
big.
I get the
I mean, you
residual
get
checks.
them, but I mean,
No,
they're not big checks, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're okay. I need to keep working and all that.
So you get this impression that a guy does a show
Like Cheers, you're set for life.
one of the biggest of all time.
Yeah.
Well, I could be set for life if I had like no kids and lived in a, double wide in Idaho or something. I'd be set for life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you are you a guy who is really responsible and smart with money? Like I got to sock it away. Or are you one of those guys who's just like,
nah,
enjoy it while it's here?
I just enjoyed it, and I did sock a good bit away, but
wow,
just kids, college.
Yeah,
I don't think these are terrible.
Either Jimmy farted or this interview stinks.
It's a combination. But how do I not ask him that when you ask about? We said something casual, like you don't have to get up. He said he drinks every night. What am I going to just ignore that?
That's a classic example of us trying our asses off.
Yeah, being nice to him, but trying to get
nice,
information.
but trying to get something going.
He's like,
I don't think he was.
But his energy was extremely low.
Yeah, he had a weird vibe.
And when that happens, then your job is to try to get that energy.
Right.
I don't think he was really ready to tackle reality.
Maybe.
And so when you kind of started to paint the picture of a fairly sad man, he was
when he came
kind of put off by that. That was 3 minutes into the interview.
Yeah, but he came in tired. It wasn't like he came in just. He
came in with the attitude. All right, well, let me get this over with.
And he's selling a goofy book based on a show he did fucking a million years ago.
Drinking with George.
So how do I not talk about drinking with George?
But that's a funny kind of a drinking
like
with George.
So tell fun stories.
You're getting into drinking
he
with
said
George.
I drink every night. What am I going to do?
Yeah, because he's a fun
tricked him
guy.
into saying he's a heavy drinker.
What? It wasn't fun when you watched him drink every night on Cheers?
Well, how about you say you're a heavy drinker if you are? If I promoting happy endings and I get mad if you ask me about massages. Do you get massages? Well, you know, every night. Do you think you have a problem with massages? Well, no. The fuck kind of an uninsightful idiot am I?
It's all goofy. He's not there for a straight, hard-hitting interview about his life. It's like, look, I'm drinking beers like I did on Cheers. Let's talk about that.
Cool. So you all right. So you had a good time on Cheers.
Yes,
How much did you save?
If I didn't have 5 kids and was just reflecting on his life, ready to blow his brains out. Jesus, it's a goofy book.
Yeah, he didn't realize that right away he'd wake up at 7 in the morning and have somebody say, no, admit you have a problem. Admit
Dr.
it.
Seuss,
Admit it.
isn't it animal abuse to have a cat in a hat? Well, how do you feel about cats in general and so many being euthanized? But it's a goofy book.
He didn't help his situation out by walking in, and he looked like he was wearing his pajamas.
Yeah, he didn't look wide
almost.
awake. I remember he didn't look.
He was wearing like a white shirt and some shorts that could
He had
have been
bloodshot
boxers.
eyes. He didn't want to be here.
He looked really tired.
Did you all go, Norm?
No, we were just like, holy fuck, what's wrong with him?
See, sometimes you're trying to give somebody the excuse for the low energy they have. Like, all right, you went to bed late. You know, we know what it is. I didn't want to say, "Are you drunk?" I don't know if he was or not.
Sure.
But that was my impression. I mean,
he probably doesn't do a lot of interviews. You don't see him out there.
I don't see him out there that much.
So he probably had to for the book.
Saw him on the Tonight Show once with Corbin Burnson. That was about it.
That's pretty impressive.
I know.
Burns.
Who would be a great interview?